Central Highlands, outside Pleiku, 1967. You step off a red dirt track into green that never dries. Your boots stay heavy. Your shoulders go numb under the ruck. The danger shows up in the body first. Skin breaking down, bad water hollowing you out, fever stealing your focus until you can't keep pace and the patrol has to slow for one man. That delay costs you distance, daylight, and security. In this briefing, we're breaking down 4 slow breakdowns that wore U.S. soldiers down in Vietnam: feet, gut, fever, and load. Here's what most people miss. They start small. What hits you first is the feet, because that's how you live out there. In the Khe Sanh Valley, during Operation Harvest Moon in 1965, Marines moved through flooded paddies and constant rain. Unit histories noted immersion foot, trench foot, as a direct threat to combat power because numb skin cracks, then infections start. Sergeant Lee recalled, sometimes at night we slept in 6 inches of water. You feel the toes go dead, then swell. You keep walking anyway because stopping makes you the problem. But the unit pays. Men can't climb, can't sprint, can't hold a perimeter without pain. Dozens end up carried, limping, or pulled off the line for treatment before the operation is finished. The psychological effect is shame mixed with fear. You start hiding blisters like they're a moral failure. Once you can't walk, you're carried to the helicopter. From that point on, he wasn't mission capable. And once you realize the ground can break you without firing a shot, the next breakdown, water, turns urgent. Then your stomach takes over the schedule. In 1968-69, units like the 9th Infantry Division in the Mekong Delta operated around canals and rice fields where water was everywhere and still unsafe. Army preventive medicine chapters and medical logs described diarrheal disease as the most common illness in theater, and it hit patrols hard because it drops strength fast. You carry canteens, ration mouthfuls, and still come up short. A 4th Infantry Division officer later said you couldn't carry enough water. When you finally drink, it can backfire: cramps, sudden diarrhea, then dehydration under heat. One Army survey found 54% of soldiers interviewed did not use purification tablets as directed, often because speed and taste won. Now you're weaker, slower, and angry at yourself for needing to stop. The unit feels it in spacing and noise discipline. You can't move quietly when your gut is twisting. Once dehydration hits, you're not mission capable. Many times you're evacuated and don't return to your platoon before rotation. And once you're weakened, fever diseases find you faster. Fever is where judgment starts to slip. Along the western approaches near Laos, places like the Ah Chau Valley in 1968, with elements of the 101st Airborne, mosquitoes weren't a nuisance, they were a readiness threat. Military medical analyses treated malaria as an operational problem, and hard-hit periods were described as exceeding 10 cases per 1,000 man-days. The felt first moment is the chill that won't stop, then the heat, hands shaking, sweat soaking your blouse. A veteran later recalled a man so shaken with fever that he couldn't even operate the machine gun. Evacuation hospital summaries and later reviews noted that a malaria case could mean about 8 days in a military treatment facility before any return was considered, and relapse was always possible. Psychologically, it's humiliating. You can't trust your grip, and you start second-guessing everything at night. Once you're evacuated for fever, many didn't make it back to the field unit in time to matter. After that, return was unlikely. And when you do go back out, the ruck punishes what the fever left behind. Then the load finishes what the climate started. Around Pleiku in 1967, movement meant climbs, slick routes, and constant balance under weight you could not refuse. A 4th Infantry Division officer described the average pack as around 80 pounds, 60 to 80 pounds, and noted the RTO carried more with the radio and extra batteries. After-action reports and unit journals kept repeating the basics: foot checks, hydration, rest cycles. But the bush didn't give you a schedule that matched the guidance. The felt first sign is a knee that won't bend cleanly, a back that tightens until you can't straighten. Impact follows. You step shorter, pause longer, and hesitation is how you miss a tripwire or lose your place in the file. You get angry, then careful, then jumpy, hyper-vigilant about terrain because one wrong step is a casualty no enemy has to claim. Once a sprain becomes a fracture or a back spasm becomes an evacuation, you're done in the field. From that point on, he wasn't mission capable, and the unit keeps moving, carrying the gap you leave behind. That's why the breakdown felt unavoidable. Each problem fed the next. Feet failed, the gut weakened you, fever stole judgment, and the load turned weakness into injury. Veterans remembered seeing men come in looking used up. One recalled replacements who looked like old men. Army medical logs reduced it into numbers, but you didn't live it as a statistic. You lived it as the moment you realized your body was becoming the loudest thing on the patrol. And even after you rotated home, it didn't always end cleanly. Sensitive feet, aching joints, and a mind that stayed keyed up. After that, return was unlikely.